Hi there, Mark Rosgen here. It wouldn't be fair for me to ask you to join without you knowing a little bit more about me. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and what we've seen prior to now, and why we are just absolutely beside ourselves with what we got our hands on. Okay, it's now January 2020. I guess my first look at networking was back in 2002 ish, somewhere in there. And we were propositioned by a person that I looked up to. He just called me up out of the blue. And he says, Mark, he says, I got something I think you and I need to take a look at together, and the way we can put a pile of money together. So I had that relationship with him where I did look up to him. I admired that man. And so anything he had to say carried weight. But that's not the case in every scenario with people contacting people out of the blue about a business, especially when you've never been in business before. So there's some troubles with that. However, we jumped at it. I seen this as a way that my wife and I could make an extra $100,000 a year outside of what we were already doing. And we just about made it. We had the 6-figure run rate over the next 6 months. And with the bonuses and things, we were just shy of that. And but we couldn't hold it. We were burning through our names list. We called everybody we knew, and of course got shot down. And the average network marketer that builds with traditional methods, if they're average, brings in 2.3 people in their career lifetime. So when people say, nobody makes any money of that, well, there's some truth to that, because a lot of people don't join, and it's because they're not business people. So they don't belong in business. However, others are in business, and this may be their first time at it, at building a business, or maybe not, but they don't know how to build a network marketing business properly. So they have some stumbling blocks. And as they're moving forward, there are people off their phone that know, like, and trust them, are shooting them down because they're not a targeted audience, right? So that's why we're really pumped now, because we're able to and have been able to reach a targeted audience. But I'm going to kind of stick to my story just so you understand where we're at. For a couple of years, we stayed with our primary company to begin with, and we build it up, and we hit about $7,500 a month with bonuses. And then as soon as we stopped, of course, nobody was doing a whole lot, or they were worried about what their friends were going to say, or they got a bunch of no's in a row, so they'd quit. They tell us they were working, but they quit. And they weren't willing to go out and stick their neck out like that. So to get the no's and the rejection and all their friends and all their family, it was majority of them were being told no. And of course, a lot of the networking companies have been through areas, so people kind of seen you coming. Shortly after that, 3 of our upline were getting hard to reach, and they were backing out and they were quitting, which left us in direct contact with the biggest pins in the country, and that's who we had to work with. They were exceptional. They built a very successful business, face-to-face, one-on-one meetings, hotel meetings, home parties. And that's how they did it. I don't know if I was as good as they were. And so we weren't seeing the results. Plus we lived 3 hours away from our market. And so we had to drive 3 hours to the market where we could go find people. There was several 100,000 people there. And then turn around and drive home. And that included the 45 minutes to an hour that we would sit with those folks and go over the business model. Sometimes it was only half an hour if you got down to it, but a lot of times there was a lot of no-shows. So we were spending 6.5, 7 hours on the road after we got all our work done during the day. We had a farm and a ranch, and that's how we made our living. And you could be full-time with that, working 12 to 14, 16-hour days anyway. So, I mean, when do you sleep? So, yeah. And then shortly after that, we had a market correction, and which was killing our cattle business, and we were in trouble. I've been in debt $1 million several times in my life. And sometimes it was good debt, sometimes it was poor debt. And when the market goes out and you're now worth 10% of what you were yesterday, that's scary. And we owed a lot and didn't have a lot of equity, and we were scrambling. And so back into network marketing, we went hard and fast, and we're just going to meet people. We were doing crazy stuff, talking to people right out of the blue, and some bought it, some didn't. But again, back into the thing, get your phone out, make a list of 100 names, and let's contact them. And we'd sit with those people, and they never knew how to talk to anyone, but we kind of show in 5 minutes what to say and expect them to get on the phone and call their friends and family. And so that's there's not a lot of progression there, and people go out and they get beat up and they're done. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, things were very good. I remember one time my wife went to town to buy groceries, and there was barely enough money left in the checking account to buy groceries. So we had to come up with something. And at that point, we had to take another job to keep the ranch going. And it was just compounding, but I could not figure out how to go build a new names list. I didn't know how to attract targeted leads, right? So we had to take a break. We had to really cut our costs and watch how we were spending our money, and fuel, groceries, insurance, gas in the vehicles was a huge issue. And it's pretty bad when your wife's highly educated and she's at home on the ranch raising the family, because you're going down the road showing people the business, right? So we had to give ourselves a head shake, because that wasn't working. And if I couldn't come up with a new names list, I wasn't going to be able to do it. So we were kind of putting network marketing on the back burner. Long story short, I had made money in real estate in the past, and buying and selling on paper, and not because we had the money, but we had to use contracts. So I started doing that again, and the market was set right, and we were starting to buy within a couple hours of home and putting things together, buying whole contracts, and we were putting people in the housing, we're renting it out. And we got rolling pretty good. Then we were buying in, there were 3 markets in Texas. We were over in North and South Carolina, Florida, and there was another state too. But anyway, we were buying with contracts over the phone, online. We were searching it and getting all the information on the property to buy it. We'd buy it, and we'd flip it, and we'd fix it and then resell it back into the retail market, and it was working. And that was after the crash of 08. So we're doing that from about 09 to 2012, 2013, 2014, and so on. And then we got into the mortgage business, where we could lend hard money to people we were selling the houses to, that would fix it up and put it back into the market. So we were rolling. And then we ended up coaching a few people, and we started a coaching business. And we were helping our students, our coaching clients, making 5-digit months. And then the good ones that were really pumping things and really head down, rear end up, they were doing 5-digit weeks. So there was money, and we were making really good money. And the only reason we were able to do that is because a person I was working with knew how to generate leads, right? Find the targeted audience, only the people that were interested in what we had to offer. So we'd show them what we were doing. We'd give them a bunch of free value, and then they would move forward, look a little closer to us. By the time we got sitting down, they had their hands in their pockets, buying what we were selling, and they were coming up making money hand over fist. As long as we made money, as long as we made a little bit every time, you can't go broke in a profit. So we were doing very well. Our clients were doing well. Our coaching clients were making good money, and the whole thing was working. And then we'll fast forward another few years, and the market keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, and to the point where less people are qualifying for these mortgages. So the whole real estate thing slowed down. However, the key there is that we learned how to find targeted leads. We learned how to subsidize our expenses by self-liquidating our offers. Okay, we didn't even know what that was called until I run into a couple gentlemen that make hundreds of millions of dollars. I guess one of them would be making that. He'd make over $10 a lead that he have, and he'd have over 1 million leads a month that he would be generating that with. So these people are in the know. And I thought, you know, if I could figure that out, what they're doing, and apply it to what I already know, I could go back into network marketing and ring the bell, right? I love network marketing. So the difference between real estate and network marketing is the fact that real estate's risky. We are, even though we're just holding paper and we're moving contracts, you can get stung a little bit. However, a lot of people don't buy that way. They're always buying the actual asset, and they're taking the risk on all that loan, all the loans with little equity, and their market's going up and down. They get bit, and if they get bit, it usually wipes them out. So again, we had some good years, but at the same time, there's a lot of risk with it. In network marketing, you buy your business position and some product, and you market it. But now, with the sales funnels, the ability to attract targeted leads, self-qualify our leads, liquidate our offers so that we get paid to prospect. We get paid. Another profit center is getting paid on the people that do not join our business, and this will make more sense as you move forward and come through this. But it was just absolutely fascinating. And then, of course, for us, for our team, we don't, when we do coach, we share some of these principles. We do not let out the fact that we don't show people how we make 30% more than the industry standard. Okay. So not only the way we're marketing, we dominate our marketplace, we also make 30% more on top of that. Okay. So you need to take a look. This is, I just wanted you to understand a few things about us, and we're just normal everyday people that are entrepreneurs, and we find problems and we try to solve those problems, and we get paid, right? That's all we're doing. We know you're doing the same thing for you and your family, and you're going to be able to find a need, and you're going to fill that need. Whether it's here or someplace else, it doesn't matter. The point is you're looking, and I commend you for it. That's a great thing. Know that there's more out there than what you got now, and I know that's why you're absolutely looking. So I invite you to keep moving through this sales funnel. You're applying to join my downline. You depending on what you want out of it is what you'll get, as long as you work for it. We're bringing in people on a weekly basis. You can call ahead and skip ahead of the people that are already booked in for an appointment with us, because everybody has to call us and talk to us. We interview everyone before we let them sign up. And if you want to call ahead and you make that effort after you've gone through all this information, you can call ahead, get the information you need. If you're still wanting to move forward, we'll bring you in before the other people that are actually signed up. Okay. So by all means, move forward, fill out the question, or the application. It's on this page, and we'll go from there. So thanks again. Hope to see you on the other side if you make it, and we'll go from there. All right. Take care. Mark Rajan. See you.